starting in January, in a McCain-Palin administration, we're going to lay more pipelines and build more nuclear plants and create jobs with clean coal and move forward on solar, wind, geothermal, and other alternative sources.
An explosion of energy. This is how a 44-year-old woman, mother of 5, governor of Alaska for only 2 years, pro-life, pro-gun, pro-oil, a moose burger-eating huntress at war with polar bears who hasn't traveled outside of the United States until last year. This is how she introduced herself to America and the world. Meet Sarah Palin, the lipstick pitbull.
I love those hockey moms. You know, they say the difference between a hockey mom and a pit bull? Lipstick.
She's still under investigation for a very messy personal affair in Alaska. Her Republican colleague, Senator Ted Stevens, he has been indicted for corruption. She's actively courted the secessionist Alaska Independence Party, of which her husband is a member. Even after her no-holds-barred speech to the Republican convention, Sarah Palin remains with no national experience. She has no international experience, although John and Cindy McCain, as well as Laura Bush, they swear she does. After all, Alaska borders both Canada and Russia.
I'm very excited by the choice of Sarah Palin. I've had the chance to meet her last year before anybody speculated about a vice presidential candidacy. She's a very sharp woman. Senator Obama's not running for vice president, although I'm sure if he wants to debate Governor Palin on foreign policy, we could arrange that.
What good an affable, provincial, shotgun-friendly, miscongeniality creationist like Sarah Palin brings to Joe McCain's campaign? Well, talk about energizing your base.
McCain desperately needed to focus on his base. Evangelicals, social conservatives were not happy at all about this guy, at all. That was critically important. He needs to do that. He names Palin. They raised $7 million in one day, so clearly he touched the right nerve among his voters.
But how will Sarah Palin energize international relations? Can anyone understand Palin's position on Iraq?
And I say this, of course, looking at the situation we are in right now at war, not knowing what the plan is to ever end the war that we're engaged in, understanding that Americans are seeking solutions, and they are seeking resolution in this war effort. So energy supplies, being able to produce and supply domestically is going to be a big part of that. And I have a 19-year-old who's getting ready to be deployed to Iraq. His Stryker Brigade will leave on September 11th of this year. He's 19. He'll be gone for a year. And that's what I talk to, kind of on a personal level, when I talk about the plan for the war. You know, let's make sure we have a plan here, and respecting McCain's position on that too.
Or perhaps Iraq is a mission from God.
Pray for our military men and women who are striving to do what is right also for this country, that our leaders, our national leaders, are sending them out on a task that is from God. That's what we have to make sure that we're praying for, that there is a plan and that plan is God's plans.
This is Palin's take on national security.
National security issues, I think, candidates are going to be asked, are you doing, even as a candidate, and are your intentions to do all that you can to help secure these United States? And I think every elected official needs to ask themselves that. And I say that, Charlie, even personally. My one and only son, my 18-year-old, he just signed up for the United States Army. He's at boot camp right now, and I'm thinking, this kid is doing all that he can within his power to help secure and defend the United States. Every elected official had better be asking themselves, are you doing as much also? Are you doing all that you can?
And this is Sarah Palin's foreign policy.
With Russia wanting to control a vital pipeline in the Caucasus and to divide and intimidate our European allies by using energy as a weapon, we cannot leave ourselves at the mercy of foreign suppliers.
This is complete baloney. Vladimir Putin, Medvedev, and the Russian leadership, they never said that they wanted to control the BTC, which is a private pipeline owned basically by BP, and the Azerbaijani government goes through Georgia and ends up in Turkey. The McCain campaign's riff is to show that the McCain-Palin ticket has more credentials than Obama-Biden.
No governor makes decisions about how to equip or deploy the National Guard. That, you know, when they go to Iraq, those decisions, as you well know,
Campbell,
are made by the Pentagon.
Campbell, on a factual basis, they certainly do. In Alaska, if you have any sort of emergency as things are happening in your state, the National Guard is under the command of the governor. That is more of a command role than Barack Obama has ever had. I would argue that on our ticket, John McCain and Governor Palin, between the two of them, have far more command experience in the military than either of the candidates on the Democratic side.
Ultimately, this is still not about Sarah Palin. It's about McCain's judgment. McCain had to send a rapid response team crammed with lawyers to Alaska to actually post-vet Palin. The Republicans at this convention, they wanted to convince Americans that Obama cannot be trusted. Will they convince Americans that Palin is to be trusted? Well, Republicans, at least, they have convinced themselves.
She will not recant, she will not relent, she stands where she stands and will continue to do so. But she doesn't need to go through, and certainly not using this speech to refute all of these accusations, because this is not a defensive posture this week. She has the ball, she needs to run with it.
She has 5 children, so I'm sure she's used to, struggles. I'm sure she's used to argumentative kids, and I believe that her experience as a mother and as a leader of the state of Alaska, I believe that she brings the kinds of values that will help her when dealing with these other countries.
Number one, she's a governor. And, Barack Obama was, I thought, very demeaning to her when he said, well, she was the mayor of a small city and all that. Listen, she's the governor of one of the 50 sovereign states. I was governor of Virginia. I understand what that means. She's governor of Alaska, and she's got more executive experience today than Barack Obama's got. You can be assured of that.
She's been an executive. She's actually balanced a budget, which frankly, neither Obama nor Biden nor even John McCain, for that matter, have done. She's done it. She's delivered. She's delivered services. Governors can't say take a pass on a vote. They can't say absent or abstain. They have to be there and they have to deliver. And if she's been able to deliver in the time she's been there and do it with such high approval rating, you got to believe that this is a smart lady who clearly learns fast.
The McCain campaign is desperate to seduce white working-class swing voters, especially women. They believe that the election won't be about national security or Iraq. It will be about the economy. Does Palin know anything about the economy? And does it matter? No, it's all about image. Palin is not Ivy League. She's a former sportscaster. She married a production operator, according to her official bio, high school boyfriend. She educated 4 kids while pursuing her career. She had a child with Down syndrome, and she owns an M16. She is a woman of faith. Well, she won Alaska's basketball championship with the last-second free throw and led all pregame prayers.
Governor, is she qualified to be commander-in-chief?
Of course she is.
Why?
Well, she's... First of all, she got more votes running for mayor than Joe Biden got running for president. She's run something.
And now she's also a pop celebrity.
I'm a hairdresser, and her hair is going to be a new style. Everybody's going to want to grow it out, wear it brown, all one length, the bangs, the glasses. Everybody's going to want her glasses. So we're going to go back to a different look. She's going to set a new style.
McCain cannily chose this hyper-American, small-town, former beauty queen to be sold like one of us, a sort of I feel your pain America working hockey mom. She's sending Republicans from neocons to evangelicals to rapture. Is this a movie? Of course this is a movie. The lipstick pitbull, disguised as Miss Congeniality, goes to Washington. If, of course, she does not self-destruct on her way